What's up, guys? This is episode 13 of the Good Shit Podcast. I'm Oscar Cifuentes.
DJ DS Van Sutherland.
P90X para que vascos no fundos.
Anthony George Michael Ferrara.
We're a man short this week due to Noah and some scheduling conflicts, but you know what? The show must go on. And what a week we've had. It was just some crazy shit has happened this week, and I'm going to just dive right into it. So,
I mean, the elephant's in the room already.
yeah, pretty much.
How dare
If
you?
you hadn't heard, a guy named Philip A. Thomas from South Carolina drove from his home in South Carolina to Lutz, a suburb in Tampa Bay, Florida, to try to kidnap Sonya Deville. So, yeah, there's his mugshot and Ferrara spot right there. Just so you have his face.
Looks like Hornswoggle's brother.
Like, listen, you could be a diehard wrestling fan, but being a stalker, a.k.a. trying to kidnap a professional wrestler. And I actually saw his Twitter feed. He doesn't even tweet at all. Everything he does is retweet anything that's involved with Sonya Deville. That's the sad part.
Let's be honest here. Sonya Deville, bro, like, she's got mixed martial arts under her belt. I
was going to say.
Look at her karate, but she's a black belt, man. Why are you going to try to kidnap her?
She's badass.
Word.
Like, honestly, if she
she put this man in the cross-arm bars to rap, though.
If she was actually given a solid opportunity in WWE, she would be one of the best champions I've ever seen in WWE.
Well, it's WWE, so well.
Like, she could have been like Shayna Baszler, NXT Shayna Baszler, because they both got
Her
that.
upcoming match in WWE is at SummerSlam. It's a hair for a hair match. So first we went eye for an eye because WWE copied a AEW style match, but now we're going to introduce the hair versus hair match.
Like, we haven't seen something like that before already. But,
Sonya Deville's going to start looking like Serena from the Straight Edge Society.
oh my God.
I don't know if I could see Sonya bald.
You're going to get ready to, because Mandy Rose ain't going to hair.
You see how my hair is?
Or mine.
Or mine.
I'm not showing mine.
But anyway.
This is a scary situation, especially regardless, woman or male. Especially if it's during the dark and the guy had duct tape with him.
Apparently he got on her property. He cut a hole in her patio screen and watched and listened through the window for about 4 hours until she went to bed around like 2:45 in the morning, and then entered through her back sliding door that triggered her security alarm. And then she apparently looked out the window and noticed that someone was on her property. And she and her guest, that was later reported as Mandy Rose by Bleacher Report, they quickly escaped, called 911, and when the sheriffs arrived, they found him inside the house with a knife, plastic zip ties, duct tape, and mace, along with some other personal stuff. And Sheriff Chad Chronister of the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Department in Tampa Bay strictly said that he was clearly on a mission to inflict harm. He's been arrested and charged with aggravated stalking, armed burglary, attempted armed kidnapping, and criminal mischief. And as of today, today, which is, today being Tuesday, Sonya has spoken in court about the incident, saying that he saw him on her back porch before he started walking towards her. And that's when, and this is a quote from her, she said, "That's when I realized this person is not here to rob me. He was there to hurt me." And Sheriff Chronister also said that, officers were looking into his social media usage and discovered a disturbing obsession with this homeowner who he had never met but had stalked for years. And, he was allegedly planning this whole operation out for about 8 months to take her hostage. And, now the Tampa Bay Times' Tony Morero added this statement from prosecutors, quote, and I quote, "The defendant admitted to that his intention was to take Mrs. Baronato, a.k.a. Sonya Deville, if you don't know her real name, hostage by spraying her with pepper spray, binding her hands with zip ties, and wrapping duct tape around her arms to prevent her from fighting back. He stated that he intended to keep Miss Baronato hostage, preventing her from attending a planned event schedule for the following week. and that he was not going to leave her residence without her answering all of his questions. And his hearing is scheduled for this Thursday regarding bail, but as of right now, he is in jail without a bond.
So I'm gonna take this one.
I'm sorry.
Chuck.
I couldn't stop laughing. I'm sorry. You're fucking weird, bro. You just go somewhere.
Weird. This is like next level psycho
I
shit.
didn't mean to laugh.
Before DJ gets to his point, where did he drive from?
South Carolina.
South Carolina.
So he drove from South Carolina to Florida, which is probably 6 or 7 hours. And then he had then his sick mind cut a hole through the screen and watched and listened for 4 hours.
I'm sorry. That definitely ain't it, Chief.
Imagine wasting a day to do psychotic things like this. Like, what's going on with society today?
Trigger security alarm.
Vert, to just get caught by a security.
And I'm pretty sure Sonya lives in a private community, so especially
it's a suburb.
Yeah, so
according to like all the reports and stuff. So
this ain't it, Chief. I'm sorry.
This is
basically my question is, first of all, what's going on in your life that you need to stalk somebody for years? Plan out this entire operation for 8 months to keep her from doing her job first and foremost. Like,
word.
If you're stalking her so much, wouldn't you want her to do your job?
Yeah, like Skeeve said, she's supposed to be in a hair for hair match at SummerSlam against Mandy Rose. I guess he was going to try to keep her from that.
And then you're trying to hold her hostage in her own home. Also doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Like,
but
word.
For 8 months of planning, you clearly did not think this through.
Word.
You first of all, like Paris Steve said, drove from South Carolina to halfway through Florida. Georgia's not a small state either, so yeah, it's about 7 hours. Stand outside her house for 4 hours. You've already wasted 12 hours of your day.
It's like a whole day, man.
Then
pretty much.
What do you think?
You cut through her window or her screen. Open the screen, not thinking. I don't know. This is a professional athlete. This is a celebrity. They might have a security system now.
And a good one, too, at that.
So you basically spent like 5 years to get arrested in 20 minutes.
What do you think was going to happen? You going to play patty cake? What is this, fucking Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Come on.
Like, honestly, do you not think
there's no framing in this one?
First off, you're messed up in the head. You wasted
Obviously.
8 months. You wasted 8 months of your life basically making a plan that never
came to fruition.
Even Harambe could have figured this out. It wasn't going to work. And then, but like honestly,
a little Harambe knit somewhere.
Like honestly, it's sad. Like it's sad. This is how people think their life.
No, but like in all seriousness, this guy is like clearly messed up.
I'm just happy Sonya's safe and the cops took care of the situation. Especially, I don't care if you're a wrestler or anybody, as long as everybody's safe. That everybody doesn't have crazy people coming after them. Just gotta be like your parents always say, have your eyes 24/7 lookout. So, it's like remember that clown situation a couple years ago, right?
Oh God. Oh man.
Remember that situation at St. John's? I remember somebody said there was those clowns at Gate 3.
Oh yeah, there was like gate.
Public safety would have
gates.
Public safety would have done anything. Public safety would have been.
You know, the funny thing is, I think didn't one of the fraternities say, you know what? Let's go in the car. Let's go find them.
Yeah.
One of the fraternities got in the car. I was like, you know what? We're gonna find
St. John's fraternity. So.
But like honestly, this is just a scary situation entirely.
Honestly, though, but like the only thing that came to my mind after reading this was like, Sonya, like Farrar was saying, Sonya has a background in martial arts. I don't know how her fight or flight skills are, but I'm pretty sure she could have taken this guy no problem.
Considering all this dude brought, if he missed, she's not. I'll put it that way. Well, he misses, she's not, and he's probably not gonna have an arm.
Well, that's the thing. She's trained to go any at a time. It's not just for show. She's trained for show and go. So like he ain't getting one up on her. No shot.
No. Unless his
like
first
maybe he'll
use
the darkness to his advantage, but that's about all he got. If he misses, it's a wrap for him.
Pretty much.
And if she had Mandy Rose there, so you got two professional wrestlers against one dude who wasted 8 months of his life and 12 hours of a day of making a terrible plan.
Yeah,
So
let's not blow past that either. I mean, not for nothing, too. If you do have a spot in professional wrestling, you do have a credibility in fighting at some point. It's not all just for. It's not all for
yeah,
show.
like of course they're gonna take the bumps and they're gonna make it lose real, but a lot of those grapples they're doing, all those high flying stuff, that's not fake. That's
You
all.
need training for that.
You're
Yeah,
right.
they got some strength. They got some strength on them, so
And both
they'd be
women
able to
have been
take a hit.
both women have been through NXT and WWE for the last 4 or 5 years. So I'm pretty sure
Roughly,
they
yeah.
have the experience. So
You ain't getting one up on them. You're not.
Absolutely not. But
Hopefully this dude don't get any bail because I don't think he's winning his hearing.
I doubt if he confessed to this whole situation, he's definitely not.
and if she had a high tech security system, I'm pretty sure she had cameras. So the whole thing
Probably.
could have been planned
If
out.
she is, fuck yeah. She's got to have something to watch over herself at night. For real.
But either way, we're
Don't be
thankful.
that guy.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're thankful that Sonya and Mandy are all right, and I don't know. We don't know what to say about this guy. He's just
Leave
nuts.
people alone
Wasted
and mind
until-
your own business, people.
Just
Leave
looking
them
at that-
alone.
Just looking at that picture, it gives me the heebie-jeebies, man. Like honestly,
Alright,
if I
so-
saw that guy,
Yeah, I was gonna
All
say
right,
Farrar, change
rotation.
that now.
Change.
Change it.
Don't worry. I got the great one. We ain't gonna let him go just as fit. Where is he? There
I'm
he
not sure
is.
if I smell what you're cooking. That's not what I thought you was cooking though. That's a great one.
If this was cooking,
Not the great one, but probably one of the stupidest ones. But
if this was
we'll get to
cooking,
that in a
it'd be
minute.
70-year-old dried up raisin.
which
Yeah.
segment was that picture from? Like honestly,
I don't
I
know.
think-
I don't care. But I know it's.
I feel like that was like Raw 25 or something, but I could be wrong.
Nah, but not for nothing. No, I mean, come on. Vinny Max had a hair transplant. There's no reason why this is gone. He comes it over that he's got a fucking spoof.
Top man Bosley.
Yeah,
Bosley, dog.
Bosley is the way to go.
We're
Oh,
not
boy.
sponsored by Bosley.
Anyway, so oh boy, how do I talk about this next topic? Because
Depends on what it is.
well, it's the return of a very controversial superstar. Most of us know him as the Velveteen Dream,
Oh, you don't.
and now what's it called? In legal terms, what do we refer to him by his actual name, Patrick Clark, or I don't
Okay.
know. So, if you hadn't noticed, last week on NXT, he returned to television in a triple threat match between Kushida and Cameron Grimes for a spot in the North American Championship ladder match at TakeOver 30. And a lot of people were not happy about that, considering, what's been going on with Dream these last few months. If you don't know, he's obviously one of many who have been accused of such sexual misconduct, and there were a lot of people coming out making accusations about him, and Triple H addressed his absence for the last couple months in a conversation with Brent Brookhouse of CBS Sports this past Monday, basically just describing it as, his absence was just because of the car accident he was in back in June, and that WWE did look into his allegations, but they, quote, didn't find anything. I find that hard to believe considering how many people came out about him, and it sparked a lot of controversy. So many people on Twitter airing their frustrations. One name in particular got probably the most attention. A independent wrestler by the name of Josh Fuller, who came out during the Speaking Out movement and described how he met Dream at an indie show when he was only 16, and Dream at the time was about 19, and he was, describing the incident, saying how he wanted to keep their relationship a secret, and how Dream tried to get him to show him his full body, and allegedly promised to get him a job with WWE, and it got, this guy was so frustrated that he let it out on Twitter, saying he just said, "I'm still pissed," and then somebody, I guess, who follows him was talking about how their story was getting shared once a week, and this is all of his responses, and it's a long one, so get ready for this one. So Fuller writes, it's a really shitty feeling that I feel like I can't say the things I want to about everything because of fear over my wrestling career. That shouldn't be okay. In retrospect, I'm glad I didn't share things anonymously because it wouldn't have had the same impact. But the paranoia that comes with everything really fucking sucks. I'm doing okay, though. I'm just really mad that this shit's just being tolerated and trying to be swept under the rug like it never happened. The only things really pissing me off from social media are the people claiming that it was clearly investigated when there's no proof or statement that there ever was the case that ever was the case. Myself or anyone else involved weren't contacted by anybody to my knowledge. The only things oh my bad. It's like repeating. And also people trying to make this like an AEW versus NXT thing look real dumb. LMAO missed me with that shit. Bad stuff is still bad. Stop comparing situations to each other. Also, anyone claiming I'm coming forward about things for clout, I don't understand the logic behind that whatsoever. I have literally no personal gain and everything to lose by speaking up about things. My morals come before wrestling, and they always will. This is way bigger than me. I'm not sure if I'll keep rambling about it, but I just want to say above anything, I never chose to speak out because of myself. It was completely over the kids he sexually harassed and the fact that the internet tried to turn them into bad people. Be sorry for them, not me.
So many ways to go about this. All right, first off, nothing in Dream's favor, of course, but there's so many ways to go about this. I mean, in a world of shit that was, right? There was so much to uncover that if you yourself wanted to investigate every single thing, you possibly couldn't, to be honest. I mean, there were a lot of people that came out of it and it was a hoax, and most of them came out and it was not, you know. For Velveteen, I don't know what it could have been. I really don't know what it could have been. I mean, it could be a type of thing where WWE did investigate it and they found themselves that there wasn't enough proof. It also could be the case where they just take his word, take Velveteen Dream's word over anything else. And that's pretty much what we have right now. I mean, listen, Hunter's not the type of guy to fuck around, you know? Like, if something serious is happening like that, he's going to take advantage of it and make it work. But unfortunately, it's not really up to Hunter. It's really up to WWE themselves. And you really look at who's doing all their public, their public relations stuff, it would probably come down to Mark Carrano. And the question is, did Mark Carrano investigate this and come to something himself? And the WWE are just refusing to just, to address that itself? Because WWE loves to not address things. So maybe this is the type of thing where they thought, oh, it's just going to go away, whatever. But,
Clearly not.
Hulk Hogan didn't go away. Even though he's back, that didn't go away.
Oh, no, there's still a lot of people
Benoit's
that
dead,
are still...
but that doesn't mean that everything that's surrounding him went away. It doesn't go away. So at this point, it's either three things. You got to investigate him. You got to make sure that there's something there. If he's guilty, you got to send him away. And if he's not, or nothing gets resolved, the dude might end up just Xing himself. There won't be no more Dream. It'll be a nightmare. And I don't mean to make a pun or make even, a euphemism right now, but
no, of course.
You don't want him to be a victim of that and then he decides, you know what, I can't take it anymore, and then he does something to himself. You can't.
Not to mention, how would this look on WWE's part? You got so many people that are going to end up claiming them as a company of enablers, just letting this guy get off scot-free without a single shred of consequences, especially after all this, especially if they're just taking his word over everybody else's, and not really fully investigating what went down.
And they're kids. They're fucking kids.
Facts.
How do you not take this seriously when it comes to kids?
Especially when you're trying to branch out to kids as your audience. Come on, man.
But weren't there screenshots of Velveteen Dream actually speaking to you?
There were like screenshots, voice recordings,
and everybody was trying to play it off that they were fake.
Is this the same thing we're talking about where he said, oh, I got my Snapchat, my Instagram was hacked?
Something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, it's like part of it. Yeah.
This is the same thing.
Yeah, Josh Lilly has nothing to gain, like you said, when it comes to posting messages from Velveteen Dream about their relations. Like, what is there for him to gain? If anything, no one's going to believe him if they happen to be true. And if they're not, he's going to look like somebody trying to play the Me Too card. So, kind of like he said, he literally gains nothing from posting these. So, why would he have a reason to post fake messages?
Like word, like
The thing is all this sea of shit, he's consistent. That's the thing. Everybody else is kind of just like, it's all gone quiet.
yeah,
So,
and Meltzer actually brought that up. That like that like whenever these movements happen, you get a huge wave of people that flood Twitter and social media with all these, and then eventually it dies down, and then when it comes out again, you get another wave, and again it dies down. And Meltzer was also wondering why it kind of happens, like what goes on behind the scenes that like they end up disappearing, and like and it goes on like nothing ever happened.
I don't know if Dream is going to go away again or if they're going to start up again. I don't know. But I will say this. There have been people in wrestling before that have went away because they've been in situations like that. And they've either gone to therapy and got themselves fixed, or they went to jail, or, they did whatever they could just so that way that they could get themselves healed and they can, in a sense, restitute to the victims exactly what, whatever they can to make them, better. If, putting somebody away, justice, or whatever it means, we said this last time, there's a way that somebody can kind of, there's a way that, if they are able to make this work and fix this and do sensitivity training, because I know that's something that's interesting enough to really talk about. I mean, Sammy Guevara is back after what, 2-3 months?
Not even like a couple
It was
weeks.
a month. I think it was like 4 weeks.
Yeah, so a month, like he did the sensitivity training. He obviously knew what he did. I think because he knew what he did that he still, had to go, but it was all right because he already understood. So it was kind of like, all right. Does he get a slap on the wrist? No, I don't think so. Because right now, Jimmy Havoc ain't getting no slap on the wrist. He's probably getting a smack in the face.
Actually,
Well, I think
when it came
Guevara's
to
was,
Jimmy Havoc just got released. Actually,
I think Guevara's was a little. Well, I'm not condoning it by any means. I think it was a little lesser because he kind of just said something on a radio show. And
especially one that
he served his
condones the
time.
kind of kind of behavior too.
Like they encouraged it, and he was probably just trying to get himself over.
Tell me this happened just now. Oh, it happened on the 13th. Oh, shit, I missed that.
What, Jimmy Havoc?
Yeah, I didn't even know that happened.
Yeah, they released him, B. Priestley, and Sadie Gibbs. Priestley and Sadie Gibbs, they're more because of the international problems. So
yeah, that makes sense then.
The only time we really saw Jimmy Havoc in AEW anyway was during that first triple threat match. That was the only time we really saw him.
Yeah.
Well, he was going around with like Sabian and Penelope Ford.
Yeah, those three might actually
major role.
Those three might be the first to actually get released from AEW, and the first ones, if not, to on pretty bad terms.
Well, in a technical sense, they're not the first ones to get. They're not the first ones to get released, but
one of those are bad terms. Sadie Gibbs and B. Priestley are just because they can't come over here.
Exactly, they're like they're over internationally, so they're.
B. Priestley, I'm pretty sure, is in Japan, and I think Sadie Gibbs is in the UK. Nobody's coming to the States from those places.
Not right now, anyway.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's exactly what Havoc. Like, I hope Havoc gets his shit together, and I hope that Havoc does whatever he can to make up to whatever he did to his victims, if he has any. And, he needs to go to sensitivity training. You know what that says to me, though? If Jimmy Havoc got released, that means that his sensitivity training was unsuccessful, if he went at all.
Or it just means that, like, Tony Khan is
like,
basically, once again, Tony Khan doing the right thing. It's just kind of he's not gonna put up with this PR nightmare if he were to bring up Jimmy Havoc. It's not like Sammy's situation. Sammy just said something stupid.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like Sammy just said something on the radio show. And
exactly.
Havoc and Dream actually sexually assaulted people.
I know. Don't forget, Sammy actually was a bigger man.
He apologized.
It was a mistake, and he apologized and met with Sasha Banks and her husband to go over the situation. He did his month of sensitivity training, and he's back.
The two of them have been in denial ever since.
You can't get it any better than that. Like, you just can't. So, You know, people are still going to be uneasy. Of course they are. But moving forward, you know, this is the example that you want to set. And whatever happened with the dream, we don't know. The dream, this could be a whole other thing for another year or so until they say, you know what, dream, you're going to get investigated, or goodbye.
Kind of what JD said on his NXT review. Like, there was no reason to bring Dream back for storyline purposes or for actual purposes in the first place, because NXT was doing fine. It kind of looks like you just shoehorned him in just to get him on TV, where they didn't even like build him up. Not that they really could in the landscape right now, but they didn't even try to build him up to bring him back. They just popped him on TV.
Well, that's WWE for you, as usual. The shit just don't make sense.
And he still lost too. Like,
yeah, they brought him back second L.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because now he's set to take on Finn Balor this week in a second chance match to qualify for that ladder match. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes from there. But I don't know. We hope, we pray for all you victims out there, and we hope that anybody who's still hiding eventually comes forward, speaks out. Don't let your voice be hidden.
Please don't.
All right, so now that we got the hard stuff out of the way, let's talk about something a little interesting. So, WWE is officially moving out of the Performance Center after how many months of doing all their tapes there?
March?
What?
We're starting in March, so 5 months.
So for 5 months, they've been in the Performance Center, probably doing shows. Like,
I don't know, man. I think that's kind of high.
I mean, the first WrestleMania was in there, like the first pandemic WrestleMania.
Their first 2-night WrestleMania was in the Performance Center. That's historic, though.
Except for one match. That was in the boneyards of Florida.
Their first 2-night WrestleMania was in the
And don't forget the Funhouse match, which apparently was recorded at Titan Towers. So
what a fucking mess.
But imagine buying tickets, spending like $100, and you get a 2-night event out of it. You just camp out of the site.
people just camp out of the site for the 1-night event.
I wouldn't camp out for 2 nights if it's just no good though.
Facts.
That's true.
That's my.
Well, they already got your money for the second night.
When we went to WrestleMania, by what, like the third hour, it was all boring matches.
Yeah, well, not for nothing though. The biggest thing that was concerning for me is just to make sure that we made it out by the time it rained, because we had to sit there during that downpour. Whoo, baby! I
like we made it out
if I didn't have a ride, I would have been standing outside in the rain.
The whole crew had rides. We were all good.
And you wouldn't have had a train that night either.
Yeah, I would have been standing outside for 3 hours.
I remember taking the car around and with everybody and saying like, "All right, we're out." And then I remember looking at the line. They had a line for Ubers to go there, and I was like, "Holy shit! There's no way that all those people are waiting. All those people are waiting." And I was like, "Oh, this is why you drive. It's not always good to be in the 21st century."
Not always, but speaking of being in the 21st century, so starting this Friday with their SmackDown, tapings will now be held at the Amway Center, and now they're
Thunderdome at the Amway Center.
They're turning it into their personal space and calling it the Thunderdome.
Sounds familiar. Didn't WCW have a show called WCW Thunder?
I believe so.
Wow, I didn't know.
Well, you know what's the funniest? The funniest thing is they want to copy all the other major sports. They want to have these virtual fans.
That's
actually
what I was going to mention too.
So out of all those screens you're going to have of the virtual fans, how many are going to be actually watching, and how many are going to be empty, and how much are going to be sleeping?
Well, all are going to be casual. All are going to be casual, so somebody's going to be paying attention.
Yeah, because they believe that, a new location and all these technical upgrades that they're pulling out is going to help with the ratings, but they're only going to tape shows from the Amway Center for Raw, SmackDown, and their pay-per-views. NXT and their takeovers are still going to be held at Full Sail. And Kevin Dunn was speaking to Sports Illustrated, and this is a quote that he told them. He said, "We're flying drones in the arena. We're putting a roof inside the Amway Center, and we'll be able to project content onto the roof. So when a big star like Drew McIntyre comes down to the ring, The whole arena will turn into his content with lasers, pyro, smoke projections on the top of the building and on the floor. It will be a big, beautiful entrance, better than WrestleMania. And yeah, they're going to implement the virtual fans, meaning they're going to have LED boards all over the arena, and they're going to be implementing their virtual fans like the NBA's been doing. And I caught a glimpse of that this past weekend. I was at my boy's house and he's watching a basketball game. I forget who was playing, but I just see the virtual fans in the crowd, and I'm just thinking, yo, this looks so fucking weird right now. Like, this is
honestly, that's probably the best implementation out of all the sports. It could be like baseball where they have cardboard and MLB The Show CGI.
But it's just like you're doing all this just for what? Like, you're just always doing the extra just for nothing.
Well, they pipe out their crowd anyway half the time.
Because the thing with SummerSlam is they were trying to find an arena in the Northeast that would allow them to have.
We're shut down here in the Northeast, so there was never going to be a chance.
Boston. He tried to still have it in Boston, but Marty said that ain't happening, Chief.
Yeah, he was like, nah, bro, no, nah.
Like, listen, I understand you're trying to be creative, you're trying to get your ratings up, but you're putting a roof under another roof. And then,
like, what?
And you have your WWE champion trying to cut a promo, and you have this group called Retribution, whatever. So you're just trying to make a Nexus 2.0, basically.
Or a bootleg Nexus, as JD called them.
Hey, Nexus didn't mess with, like, the production crew.
Like, the funny thing with
Did they choke him out, though?
No, the best things WWE does when they have, like, one of those things with the production crew, they always have that one guy that just looks at another dude, and the guy just is like, he's about to crap his pants.
Hey, man, they use computers. They didn't do so well in PE, dog.
What was that? What do you call it? The CM Punk tweet, just shit my britches on SmackDown. Retweet.
Oh, my God. But
also kind of like what JD said, according to what Oscar presented us, they basically stole a bunch of Vanguard ones to do these entrances.
Yeah, but you understand that it always comes down to just always doing the most, even though it's just for nothing. Okay, I'm going to probably watch just to see how they do it. And
I was going to say, that even if they did all this to get their ratings up, they might spike like once or twice, 2 weeks max. And then after that, their ratings are just going to go back to normal because, people are going to see what they did. They're going to be like, all right, that's cool. But what else are you going to do for us? Like,
and making it sound like a glorified Saudi show.
I was going to say, unless you're going to do like pyro and laser shows, like a Pink Floyd laser show, like nobody's going to stick around.
We can actually see their fans' true colors of actually who stays up for 3 hours while watching Raw.
Word. I could imagine just being one of those virtual fans, and then like
if you were to put
after 2 hours just signing off, and then that seat becomes empty.
Hey man, that's Raw Underground, dog.
I mean, it actually happens. There's actual times where you watch an NBA game and there's like empty seats.
God forgive me that all it takes is just for one asshole to put up fucking George Floyd or Osama bin Laden as a standee.
Oh my God!
Somebody will throw super hard though.
And the worst thing is that it's more likely because it's WWE.
Oh my God!
And then the poor people that work there have to fall fucking victim to it and have to sit there and.
Hey man, if Braves fan
I just thought of something because they have a site where you can reserve seats. Like they legitimately opened a site where you can reserve seats to be one of those virtual. I have no clue.
Of course, you
just like, what happens
to
the fans that do these things, but they're wearing AEW merch? Like, what happens to those fans? Are they just gonna like
WWE's gonna call their security companies, go to that person's house, and make them take the shirt off?
No, to be honest, they might actually just cut you off the service.
That's what I'm saying. Are they just gonna cut you off the live feed? Like,
I mean, you'll already be on screen already.
I mean,
it'll already be up there. It'll already be up there, like just full.
Somebody's gonna screenshot it already.
What happens if somebody pays $45 and a bunch of friends decide, okay, we all get chosen the same night? What happens to all those friends that paid and they're all wearing AEW shirts?
We got your money, bro.
And they have no virtual fans. How funny is it?
We got your money, bro.
That is actually, it's either every single fan's got to sit there and cooperate and say, yeah, we're going to do this as a group and we're just going to hijack the show.
Look, man, we know it's all going to be full of Alexa Bliss fans, Nikki Cross fans, Iconics fans, and Seth
just a bunch of
fans.
stands in those virtual seats.
Basically,
But,
I mean, it's going to be a bunch of casuals.
God forbid Alexa's got her own fucking stalker too. That's going to see her and be sitting there fucking looking like the other guy.
Hey, man,
Word.
that man already paid $430.
I was gonna say, plus you gotta have another schmuck out there who paid
You'll have
$400
Antonio
to get a cameo video from her just to get rejected.
How do you pay $430 not to actually have the date, to ask for the date though?
And still get rejected.
How do you have 34? What is it?
How do you spend $430 on the date?
How do you spend that much money just to say, I want you to say this? Like, how sick in the head do you gotta be? Like, what?
I don't know, man.
She didn't even. She like politely stiff armed him.
Word, like she just literally. She was like, just literally like, no, sorry, but
there's somebody out there for you, but I'm not the somebody.
Muck,
but not this one.
But anyway, so their plan is to stay at the Amway Center to the end of the year, but they've only paid for 2 months. And John Alba, who's a sports host at News 13 in Orlando, had reported that they're spending about $450,000 to use the Amway Center for the next 2 months.
Damn.
Where's that money coming from? They ain't making no gates. They ain't making no ticket gates.
I'm not even sure the Orlando Magic get that many fans.
Hey, they got Aaron Gordon. He always get people to see.
I give him a 9.
He always put somebody to see.
I give him a 9.
Hey man, they also got Puff the Magic Dragon, dog.
Puff the Magic Dragon, I swear.
Magic Dragon.
I don't know if his name's actually Puff, but
yeah, you're about
their
to spend
mascot's actually a dragon.
Word, but they're spending almost $500,000 to do all this technical shit for how many fans that are actually going to buy these virtual seats?
Not only that, they say they're going to have it for the rest of the year despite paying for 2 months. Like, you still got another 4 months to pay for it.
As I say, that's going to be almost $1 million that they're going to pay to keep them there. Like,
to still not make money at the ticket gate.
Yeah, word.
If they were smart, what they would do is probably, like, have something going for the people that are already there, that are paying subscribers of the WWE network. And then you would have like extra things thrown in, like you want a paid shout out, something like that. Like you could do that,
Oh, they make a lot of money that way because we saw Antonio spend $430 to get rejected. So somebody's gonna pay to get on the screen.
But then, of course, who's thinking of this? Because WWE.
You would think Vince is, but because there's money involved.
Yeah.
I don't think Vince knows what he's doing anymore. Why are we doing it?
Oh, not think. He definitely doesn't know what he's doing.
But regardless, it is a great, smart marketing tactic, but
tactic, but does it really work?
Execution.
Will it work in the?
There's no excellence of execution as one Bret Hart.
Like, imagine this: we're one of those virtual people. This is our background. You'll have Ferrara dressed up as Vince McMahon in the background. You got Grandpa John in the fans. And you got that guy in the red shirt with the confused look on his face.
Yeah.
Where's the guy with the green smiley shirt?
Yeah, where there's gonna be like a Bailey buddy out there.
Oh my God! Imagine these people like just put like avatars of themselves instead of their actual selves.
No, that's exactly. They're gonna have their Twitter profile up there. They're gonna have Alexa Bliss. They're gonna have Roman Reigns. They're gonna have Seth Rollins. They're gonna have the Iconics. They're gonna have Sasha Banks and Bailey. Like they're gonna have a bunch of wrestlers. Yeah, so we're gonna have Brother Hornswoggle down there too.
Oh, dude.
Brother Nero, he'll save us all.
Brother Swoggle was gonna be down there too.
Oh boy, but regardless, they're going to the Amway Center. I'm only curious of how that set's gonna look for like Raw and SmackDown.
I mean, let's be real.
I don't give a shit about the show, but
when SmackDown moved to Fox, we were all interested and we watched the first 5 minutes of The Rock and Becky's promo, and that was about it.
Yeah.
And then Brock beat Kofi Kingston in about 13 seconds.
Yeah, way to ruin my birthday, Vince.
7 seconds.
So that's about it. They're gonna be like Braun Strowman the Fiend are gonna go off in one more battle before their SummerSlam match.
Like, we've seen it 4 times already.
Word.
And we're probably going to see it the week after Backlash, which also doesn't
Oh
make
my
sense.
God, I didn't even realize. Yeah, if they do
Yeah, Backlash is the week
literally
after
the week
SummerSlam.
after SummerSlam. Like, who
So
the
not
fuck
only did they
came
not
up with
build
that?
Wait, is that for real?
For
Backlash
real.
is the week out. Oh my
So
God.
not only
No,
did they not build
payback.
whatever.
Payback, yeah.
There's a pay-per-view literally the week after SummerSlam. So not only did they not build
I mean,
SummerSlam for real.
Yeah, I
they
mean it is
built
called
maybe 3
Backlash.
matches.
I mean it is called Backlash, and WWE
They gonna
always
catch a
get the
lot.
best.
SummerSlam coming. I forgot about that. Oops.
They're gonna catch a lot of
It's
backlash.
this Sunday,
because
dude.
It's
I
like
mean,
what
I miss
reason?
the old pay-per-views. Remember Cyber Sunday where you got to choose your
Oh,
opponent?
fact.
You got to choose the
Like you had to
stipulation
go
of
on
the
the
match.
website to pick their
Yeah.
opponents. Yeah.
Pick the opponent.
Remember
Pick
when
the match.
WWE was actually creative and had actual good content every
Shit,
week?
Remember when
Armageddon,
the
dog.
app actually meant something? Like, when
Bro,
you
remember the Hell in a Cell
interact-
match at Armageddon? Those were classic matches. We don't have that anymore.
Oh,
Now we have
even
Hell
New
in
Year's even New Year's Revolution.
Yeah, and then now we have a Hell in a Cell match where the opponent gets disqualified.
or like the referee stoppage.
We're gonna disqualify you in a no disqualification match.
And then you have back
Like
in the
Rose
90s.
no
like saying,
explanation.
how the hell do you get disqualified in a Hell in a Cell match?
With no explanation.
Word.
That's
It just happened. You have to accept it.
X-Pac was the one that's saying, how the fuck do you have that? They're not gonna have me back, but how does that happen? And he was right. They never had him back. He never came back on because he called him out on bullshit. It's like, I'm sorry, Hunter, Sean, but how in the fuck do you have that happen?
Or
I mean,
it's like
he's not
how
wrong.
in the freak, like you wanted to say fuck it. It's like
Yeah, he was really holding back, and you heard everybody just boo, and it's just like music to my ears. It's like,
Well, he
That was-
wasn't wrong because it made no sense.
yeah, those boos were so strong. I don't even think they could edit that out. Like
no, don't even try
And
it.
trust me, Kevin tried.
he tried, but I don't know. But
It's like trying to boo out. It's like trying to put over the crowd in Philadelphia, Rosemont,
oh man,
or Brooklyn. It's not happening.
nope, not gonna be able to edit out the crowds. And
Maybe occasionally Los Angeles.
it depends on the event.
Occasionally.
I just
But-
if they didn't learn now, they'll never learn. So I wouldn't even invest the hype into it.
Well,
Damn,
they
in
might-
Raw Underground,
they-
though.
as I say, they might lose the hype and they might lose a good majority of their rosters because on the Wrestling Observer Radio, Meltzer was asked about some of the current talent that might consider jumping to AEW. More specifically, the names that were listed by Jericho on his Saturday Night Special, the names we went over last week.
Ooh.
So Meltzer was saying, kind of in response to all these names that, it would be smart for Ricochet to leave. Roman is not going anywhere. Like we all knew that.
He's a lifer. He's a lifer.
Roman's going to be a lifer, but he kind of slipped this point out in, during his response about Roman Reigns. Basically, and I'm quoting Meltzer, he said, virtually everybody in WWE, including guys who have claimed different at one point or another, have called AEW and trying to see what they can get or have had interest.
I mean, anything Meltzer says, I take with a grain of salt. So
I mean, maybe for me, it's like more than a grain because Meltzer
You take 3.
Meltzer kind
You
of
take
knows
3
his
grains.
shit. Meltzer knows his shit.
It's not Meltzer playing the field and also being secret buddies with Vince because he has a lot to say to Vince all the time. So is Brian Alvarez. You
Oh
think
man,
Vince would turn and be like, "Hey, listen, both of you shut the fuck up," and at that point they'd be like, "Okay," but it's not. They're talking to somebody else. Their sources are from other people within WWE. Plus, he's doing it smart because if I was working in WWE and I'm talking and Meltzer's saying something about my company every week, I would literally be like, "Who the fuck are you getting this information from? Like, who are you talking to?"
Well, as
I'm
we stated
surprised
earlier,
Vince has
WWE doesn't do
never asked
investigations.
like where all these
Vince
sources
can
are
ask.
coming from.
Vince can say, "I'll give you money right now if you tell me who's giving you all this info," and then that person will lose their job. So
Well, we also established earlier, WWE is not really known for doing investigative legwork. So,
Facts.
I mean, regardless, Ricochet would be a great fit for AEW, and then people would say, "Why would you say that?
it's a reject.
What? He's already in WWE. AEW's taking everything." No. I would love to see Ricochet versus Sammy Guevara in a one-on-one match.
Oh my God, yo!
And you know AEW don't give him time too, so
Word,
it's not gonna be just some 90-minute squash match like he had this week.
Oh no, they'll give him the chance to. They will let that rock.
Like they'll let him go for like at least 20 minutes. Like
That's gonna be a 5-star high-flying classic.
hell, that might actually do better than like Darby versus Sammy at Revolution, and that was a pretty good match too. And then and to finish off what Meltzer was saying, he said, as far as Ibushi and Ospreay go, that would have to be handled between Tony Khan and New Japan President Harold Mage. But Ospreay likes working in Japan and doesn't want to work a lot in the U.S. And Ibushi's case again, they have to settle it between AEW and New Japan, see where that goes. But either way, we've already given our opinions on those guys last week.
So somebody else that need to get up out of here is Cedric. Cedric need to get up out of WWE.
Cedric need to go join his wife too, because
When I got the notification that he won the 24/7 championship, I was like, this man has hit rock bottom in WWE.
Oh yeah.
Like
literally,
you can't considering they have a 37 or 38 time now. I don't know how many. Nearly a 40-time champion for a title that's been around for what, a year and a half. You can't really take it seriously.
Has it been a year already?
It might not even have been a year, but there's been a 40-time champion already.
It has been. Crap, damn. I didn't even realize it, because remember, like, when, what's it called? I think Double or Nothing the first Double or Nothing came out right after that Raw.
So there's been a 40-time champion. There's been a 40-time champion for a belt that's been around for a year. And most of their matches last 5 seconds tops.
Oh, boy.
You can't take it seriously.
As I say, yeah, R-Truth's the only one that's really benefiting from the 24/7 title.
It's the concept. He dresses up as somebody else, referee pops up, pin 1, 2, 3, champion.
Pretty much.
This is set for comedy, but not even the kids are laughing, so I think it's time to go. Oh, you like that one, huh? You like that one, George?
Oh, you always got good euphemisms, I swear.
Oh, boy. So, to end off this show, normally, I know it's only been a week, but I already missed the bracket, man. It's like it got us going.
I need Farrar to argue a point that hasn't been made yet, despite him voting for somebody else.
Well, we might not be arguing this because, we're going to be continuing with what we're going to call the Vinny Mac Chronicles, basically describing all the stupid shit that Vince McMahon does. This episode is about Rusev Day. So apparently, Miro, as he's going by now, was on the Ryback show, and he was recalling how fans were chanting, Rusev Day, even if he was only supposed to be in catering. And, when he asked Vince why he couldn't show personality backstage or show any character or just do what he wants to do despite being adored by all the fans, Vince's reply to him, probably the stupidest thing I've ever heard him say. He was like, they chant Rusev, or he's telling them that, fans only chant Rusev Day to mock him. They're fucking with him. Like, really?
This is the 24/7 championship.
Like, why would you chant for somebody if you didn't like them? Or why would you
when Aiden English came out and did his entrance, he always got the biggest pop ever.
Now when he did that like that,
like,
that got a huge pop.
So it wasn't mocking him. Vince doesn't know how good he has it. He has all these top wrestlers. He has all this good content left or right, but he always finds a way to keep the same stuff from 2000 and keep it in his head and think, it's 2020, new year. I got new superstars. It will run the same way. It doesn't.
It's amazing how many employees he has that want to help not only themselves, but help the business grow. But he continues to hold all of them underwater at the same time.
Like, I would pay to be at a family dinner between Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, Shane McMahon, and Vince McMahon. I would pay to see a conversation.
Hey, man, you can pay virtually to be at Thanksgiving. $45, bro.
Oh, my God.
A Thanksgiving at the McMahon's is going to cost you $50,000 just entry.
That's Raw Underground, though. That's the Thanksgiving episode for Raw
It
Underground.
really be like that.
Let me
Uh,
let me pick brains for a second because I would actually just be like, "Yo, he's a fucking idiot," and just leave it at that. But you have to think about this for a second. So Vince entirely isn't wrong, and I'm going to tell you why. There have been so many times where there are things that people take and they run with. I mean, how many times did they take as a joke and say, "Yeah, we're going to get ice cream bars," and they'd be like, "Yeah, ice cream bars," as jokes. How many times were there a lot of things that people, not even just in WWE, that a lot of things would be just jokes, and then to a point, it's a joke that either gets run in the mud, or it's a joke that somebody says, "You know what? We could actually we could fucking make something on this."
But I feel like that's more of like
I got a
them
rebuttal
fucking
for
with
that
the fans,
because
not the fans fucking with them.
Which is my
I
point.
got a rebuttal for that because how many times have we seen stop and start pushes
That's the point.
when
Is that
guys got over?
that's the thing though, is like how many times are you gonna joke with somebody and like there are a lot of jokes that go on that are just running gags or whatever. I can't even think off the top of my head, but something relating to ice cream bars would be the type of thing. But Vince, he don't fucking know any better. And he just can just go off and just be like, ha ha ha, you're a joke and all that. But this is the one time that like I wouldn't want you to really take this man as a joke because this man you had in a big match at WrestleMania and you did nothing with him and he's improving. Like you don't get it. And now it's something that your fucking whole company is dying and you can make this work. And yet you're just sitting here thinking that it's just a big joke. Like what are you doing? Like
Word.
like what is your purpose in this life?
Word. Like,
Word on the street is it was also Rusev Day celebration going on in the tank.
Oh,
yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
and by the way, if the fans were mocking Rusev by saying Rusev Day, then why did you make merchandise out of it? And it was a top
And
seller.
that's another point. Yeah, when it came to his merchandise sales and it all went up, Vince was asking, "Oh, why did we run out of them? Did we just not print enough?" I'm like, "No, you sold out because he's that popular." And and this is a quote from Miro said about about his all deal. It's like Rusev Day was going on. There was no way the office didn't notice because it was before, after, during the show. It was everywhere. I always felt defeated because what was I doing it for? It was all competition, and finally I got to a point of, wow, we're doing something right. There's no way it wasn't noticed. The first meeting it was, they're fucking with you. They don't mean what they're saying. I respect and I listen because I always want to listen to Vince. That's your first mistake. He had everybody on his side. In my mind, I knew it wasn't true. They started putting my segments early so the Rusev Day chance would go away. I was not even supposed to be on WrestleMania the year I lost to Jinder. I was not on TV for 3 weeks. I'm sitting backstage all night and listening to people chant Rusev Day. I went to one of the writers and I'm like, this is not right. This is the first time I yelled at a writer and I felt bad. He was like, we don't know what to do. What do you mean you don't know what to do? Just listen. They'll tell you what to do. They're shoving me down and I don't understand why. What am I fighting for? I did everything right. I went to acting classes. I started working on my body. I did all the extra stuff. I was just defeated. When Vince said that second time, they're fucking with you, I said, Vince, we have sold out all of our merchandise. What do you mean? The shirt is sold out. Well, maybe they didn't make enough. They didn't make enough shirts. That's why it's sold out. Not because we're doing really good. Really? Then they didn't know what to do. Good guy or bad guy? Come on, man.
I'll say this: when Rusev first came into WWE, they had him the non-losing streak. He was undefeated, and of course, he lost to John Cena at WrestleMania for the United States title.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever Vince had something good with Rusev, he messed it up.
Mm-hmm.
Rusev Day was doing phenomenal. What did they do? They had that cheating segment in Milwaukee between
my God,
Aiden English
yo.
and Lana. And then Rusev Day picks it up. The fans still love him. And what do? They have him and Lana divorced on live TV while she's having an affair with Bobby Lashley.
We're literally making him a cuck in the process.
It's just
Which
so,
And then
then led to another bot situation.
And then what do you do right after that?
it's just
Oh,
funny.
yeah, we'll release you, Rusev, and Lana will still be. And then Bobby Lashley a month later says, I want a divorce, and Rusev, Amiro, and Lana are all over social media, on the beach, in the tank, whatever you would want to say.
I'm going to retract my previous statement because I just realized it's not really all that's going down with him. The problem is that you have everything else in your company as such a big fucking joke, yet you got somebody here that actually can be something great, and you're like, oh no, that's a joke. Then what is everything else? What was the Jerry Springer segment where everybody was pregnant with Kelly's fucking baby? Like Kelly's baby. It was a segment when they had the hosts of Monday Night Raw, and it was like everybody would come up with Kelly's baby. He remembers. He remembers.
Oh boy.
I don't remember the segment, but I remember those days. Yeah.
Like people were like this, like she's a whore or something like that. Like you would think like, oh, that's a good joke and that'll be running. Like, no, that's not funny. Now you got something like this and you think that no, it's something serious. Oh no, that's funny. Your humor's all backed up, man. You're all messed up. Like,
what about that segment between The Miz and LeVar Ball? LeVar Ball was acting like he was having a spasm. He's like, I'm gonna get your boy. I'm gonna get your boy. And then they got a lot of backlash because LaMelo actually said an explicit word, and it was caught on the mic.
Beat that ass. Beat that ass.
Well, that's not really explicit. That's probably the least explicit word. But
we say
if you're gonna look in the past 15 years with this company and say Rusev Day, who was a nonstop, sold out all the merchandise, fans will love it, a joke over all. Remember the time the Monday Night Raw had a special guest host every single weekend, week out?
Yeah.
And Jerry Springer was one of them. That's why I brought that up. Like, yo,
and then you had Bob Barker one night, and then you had
Raw is right. The
Muppets one week, and then Seth Green another. Like, yeah.
Oh boy.
Madhouse. Like, what are you trying to make? What are you accomplishing here? First and foremost, like,
C-level Hollywood movie.
Well, they haven't done fucking working, you know.
But no, I got something to kind of go off all those because two of the examples are in AEW right now. Zack Ryder, or Matt Cardona, also known as Zack Ryder. He got over by himself. Technically, start with the Edgeheads. They were jobbers. He got over by himself with the Long Island IZ stuff. He even had his own championship. That got super over. They cut that. Then he got pushed to win the U.S. championship and lost it, I think, the next night or the week after. So, Zack Ryder.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't that the Intercontinental Championship? He won at WrestleMania and then he lost the next day?
Yeah. It might have been. That might have been. But either way, he won a championship at WrestleMania, got his moment, and they took it away from him literally the next night. So, like, that's one example. And then all the times Matt Hardy redid himself. And they killed him every time because they like Jeff Moore. Like, it's fine if you like Jeff Moore, but that doesn't mean you have to sacrifice Matt Hardy in the process.
Word, like they could have done a lot with Matt, even while Jeff was on a singles run.
Well, they made Jeff piss in the cup first.
That's not then.
Yeah, and a huge like half-gallon cup, like.
Yes, he pissed apple juice in a mason jar.
DJ, you forget WWE slogan, then, now, forever. So.
Yeah, people get buried then, now, and forever. You're right.
It's not a good look. It's not. And the funny thing is that all these people are like, oh my God, going to AEW, blah blah blah. Well, why wouldn't you? Look what we got going on here. Why?
They're getting a chance over there. That's all they want.
And for everybody saying that Cody's always pushing himself, he's giving an opportunity every week.
He gives every week.
Word. He's making his championship look good. How do you make your championship look good? You have great matches, giving opportunities to young, fresh talent that no one's had their eyes on. He's literally killing two birds with one stone, getting guys over and getting his championship over.
Don't tell that to the John Cena marks because they're going to say he did the United States Championship.
I can give a fuck about John Cena marks, man.
Why are you taking shots at me?
Not you. I'm just saying.
I feel personally attacked.
My fault.
But no, it's kind of like what he said. Cody's putting people over. No one knew who the fuck Warhorse was before he went to AEW. Now everybody loves him.
No one knew who Ricky Starks was. Now he's got a job over there.
Eddie. Well, people knew Eddie Kingston, but majority of the
Yeah,
casual
well,
fans watching
no, like
AEW didn't know him.
hardcore fans knew who Eddie Kingston was.
Yeah, like real in the indie scene. People
Yeah,
know who Eddie Kingston was, but
like
not
hardcore
everybody
wrestling
watching.
fans.
Not
knew who
everybody
Eddie-
watching AEW knows Eddie Kingston was. Now
Like,
they love him after a promo.
Yeah, to say, like regular ass fans, like they don't know who he is.
So like Cody's giving people the chance that they never had.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. And
So-
you know what? You really can't get mad at that. And for some reason, Vince has that he wants to just shun everybody down and just say, "Oh no, like this ain't gonna work." You know, like,
And then on top of that, not only they're giving them the chance, these people are excelling at their chance because they're actually good at their jobs, and they're getting a chance to showcase that they're good at their jobs.
What a shock! You let people show you what they can do.
Wait, I
and
got
they
more for you,
pull
bro.
through with it.
I got more for you. They're actually building them after they have these matches.
No,
I didn't know this was a thing.
you imagine,
I'm in shock, man.
imagine just Vince having just like dementia and it's just the same thing over and over again. It's like,
I would not be surprised, considering he only gets like 4 hours of sleep.
Now,
Like
everybody probably was like Apollo Crews, Vince.
Imagine being Vince
Because I
McMahon
know
and waking
Apollo
up every day and be
technically-
like, "Yeah, I'm a billionaire. Whose career am I gonna ruin today?"
I would not be
technically
surprised if
Apollo's
that's the morning
champion.
routine.
Well,
He gets-
technically Apollo's the champion. They're literally having MVP and saying in promos that he's going to get sent to catering, and Apollo's agreeing in their promos on TV.
hey
I
man,
can just imagine, like he wakes up after his 4-hour nap, just gets his protein shake in, and just goes to the gym. He's like, I'm gonna destroy this person's career.
Hey,
I'm
man,
gonna
that
destroy
man
this
pumped
person's
600
career.
pounds. That man pumped 600 pounds, dog. I'm messing with him.
he'd be pumping 600 pounds when he got Roman Reigns going there 3 times a day. How about that for some pumping?
Oh man,
It's a good day to not watch WWE.
it's a good day to talk
every
about
day
the
is.
Vinny Mac Chronicles. Oh man, we thank you for joining us for the Vinny Mac Chronicles, and thank you for joining us once again for the Good Shit Podcast. This has been episode 13. Follow us on Instagram. Follow at Good Shit Podcast NY. Follow us at Twitter at Good Shit Podcast. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we hope you guys just had a blast with us tonight. Until next week, I'm Oscar Cifuentes.
DJ DSPN Sutherland.
I'm Miro.
You wish.
It is not Rusev Day for you, sir.
If you're Miro, I'm Orange Cassidy.
Hey man,
Didn't you get beat with blood oranges, though?
if you're Orange Cassidy and I'm Miro, it's definitely Zeus and Apollo together, man.
Oh man, we'll see.
Oh, we get dropping Greek gods out here.
Wait, why did I just say Apollo? You're more of a Hermes type of dude.
Well,
runs?
while we discuss these Greek gods, we will see you guys next week.
Next week,
Yeah.